Hello everyone. In this video, I'll take you through the 9 months it took to harvest this garlic. These were planted last October, and we finally harvested these at the end of June. This harvest was from just a few cloves. It was my first time growing garlic, so I didn't plant that many cloves, and look at the bounty that they produced. Now that I know how easy it is to grow garlic, I'm going to grow more this coming fall. To start, you will need to consider whether you will be growing a hardneck or softneck variety of garlic. I live in a cold weather climate, so a hardneck variety is best suited for my growing area, which is zone 6. I chose this variety from Burpee. It's called German Red, and according to Burpee, it is well suited for cold winters. You can plant this in the fall and it will take 240 days to mature, or you can plant this in the spring and it will take 90 days. If you decide to plant garlic in the spring, you would want to get it into the ground in March or April at the latest, so that it will have 90 days until June to mature. And then you can use the garden for your summer crops. If you plant in the fall, then you would want to plant in September or October and harvest in June. I've read that garlic planted in the spring produces smaller bulbs. I'm not sure if that's true, but I decided I wanted to get them in the ground in the fall and see what happens. I placed a small order for half a pound at $16.99 since this was my first time growing garlic, and I just wanted to experiment to see how successful it would be. The bulbs came about a week after I placed the order, and the package contained just 4 bulbs. I was expecting 6 since the website said an average of 6 bulbs. I guess I got below average. Oh well. In any case, each of the 4 bulbs had between 4 and 6 cloves, so I ended up with around 20 cloves to plant. You just break apart the bulb and separate out the cloves, and then plant them pointy side up, root side down. It's pretty obvious. Here you can see them all laid out in 2 neat rows. The bulbs are spaced about 4 inches apart, and the 2 rows are around 18 inches apart. I don't know what happened to the video of me breaking apart the garlic, but you can imagine garlic comes from the supermarket as a bulb, and then inside are the cloves. You don't plant the entire bulb, you break it apart and plant each individual clove, with the pointy end pointing up to the sky and the flatter bottom part pointing down to the ground. Here you can see on this clove, this side is pointy, so when you plant this clove, it should have this pointy side facing upward. I amended this soil with some organic compost before planting the cloves. They need to be planted about 1 inch down, so first I laid them out to see how they would fit, and then I poked a hole and pushed the cloves down into the soil. This area had cucumbers growing in it during the summer, but they died once the cool weather came in. So I cleared out the area, added some compost, and now the garlic have replaced the cucumbers. It's November 3rd and around 2 weeks since I planted the garlic cloves, and they decided to come up, which is not unusual. According to the instructions, if the garlic does come up during the fall, you should just cover it with some mulch to protect the cloves once the weather turns colder. So that's what we did. The first snow came down in December and covered the garlic with its own layer of soft white fluffy mulch. It's interesting to see the green poking its way up through the snow. Fast forward to April 11th, and after a very snowy and cold winter, the garlic is back stronger than ever. Now it's May 3rd, and you can see the garlic has grown taller and the stalks thicker. I poked down into the dirt to see if there was a bulb growing down there, and I didn't find anything, just roots. So I covered it back up and decided it needed more time to develop a bulb. Now it's around 3 weeks later, May 24th, and I'm eager to see if the garlic is ready, so I decided to dig one up completely. It was a very small bulb. I read that the bulbs grow the most in the last month of maturity, so I planted the bulb back after digging it up and resolved not to try again for another month. So that puts the harvest date at the end of June. Okay, here we are at the end of June, and the leaves on the garlic are starting to turn yellow and brown, which indicates that they are now ready to be harvested. So I dug them all up, and take a look at this nice harvest. The garlic was actually very strong and had a good flavor. We all decided it was much better than the supermarket garlic. Now that I know I can successfully grow garlic, I'm going to plant more cloves this October and maybe try a few different varieties. Variety is the spice of life, right? If you have any suggestions on which variety, hardneck variety, that I should plant, please put it in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this garlic journey from October's planting through June's harvest, and thank you for watching. Bye!